Mayuresh Joshi, Head of Equity Research at William O'Neill, is now with us. Mayuresh, thank you for joining in. I have to first ask you about Ola. 20%. Quite an electrifying move today. What do you think about the stock?
Afternoon, Surbhi. No, I think the new launches is something that has done the trick. And I think all the new launches that they've probably come with in terms of both the price points as well as the expected range for each of the model that they've probably launched. I think that is something which has created a lot of enthusiasm for the stock itself. Again, I think a clear indication to competition that these are the price points that you are going to put on the table at this juncture. And the expectation specifically in terms of the larger model, the larger price model, is that they are obviously expected to carry portable batteries, which means that the infrastructure issues that a lot of companies probably face, or even end users, you can probably charge those batteries at home. Now, what do they do with their existing servicing issues and servicing woes is something that the street will ideally watch out for as well. But I think the enthusiasm has largely got created because of the new launches, the 30% share that it probably has, and what does competition probably do in terms of their new launches and price points as well. So yeah, I think the new launches have done the trick for it.
Mayuresh, your thoughts? Hitachi or anything else in the space that you would play that you would like?
So Surbhi, again, I think a large element in terms of the price move. The order win obviously is huge. And therefore, I think as they execute this over the next few quarters and years, that is going to substantially add in terms of how their top line grows. Obviously, in terms of operating efficiencies, you've seen EBITDA margins probably recover in the last financial year, with execution expected to be doing well for Hitachi Energy over the next few quarters as well. The expectation is that there will be a bump up in terms of the EBIT margin performance as well, which will clearly indicate operating leverage, and therefore earnings should see significant amount of earnings growth over the next couple of years. However, if I then look at how valuations are probably pegged for Hitachi Energy, assuming what they can probably deliver even from an FY26 perspective, I think the highs that it probably hit up around 15,500, 16,000. I think that was the best case scenario that they probably delivered, but there was a little bit of an enthusiasm there as well. So I think fairly valued in our opinion, late stage base as we see it. So anybody holding can hold on. Fresh investments need probably to wait out for declines. What we like again from this space, L&T within the large cap names, a clear proxy to the entire India eco play. And within the smaller names, Pennar Industries, Azad Engineering, I think these couple of stocks, in my opinion, with enhanced capacity specifically for Pennar Industries, the expectation in terms of stable earnings growth probably seems to be on the card. And Azad is a very, very niche play in terms of the critical components that it probably supplies. Very good set of numbers. And therefore, our belief is that earnings along with the strong order book and execution should reflect in their balance sheet of this one.
Swiggy is the one that's really firing away in the last few minutes. Mayuresh is still with us. Mayuresh, who would have thought, right? 390 rupees odd was the IPO price. They came out on a day when the markets were very, very weak. It listed well and it's given you a quick fire 20% return in a matter of a month. Your view on the stock at 500?
Afternoon, Nigel. I think when they listed, obviously they left something on the table as far as the valuations were concerned for investors. And therefore, with a lull, I think the stock is now picking up pace. Obviously, the expectations in terms of their quick commerce segment, like Zomato turned it around over the last few years, is something that the street probably expects and hopes. At the same time, the dark store expansion that all of them are doing, Zomato, Swiggy, even Zepto, their unlisted peer, is something to be watched out for. And the trends that we are probably seeing in terms of quick commerce, specifically for urban areas, semi-urban areas as well, I think that should be an increasing trend thereof going forward as well. So I think earnings will be key for Swiggy going forward, and what probably they do with their quick commerce segment, like Zomato did in the case of Blinkit. So fingers crossed for this. But in my opinion, I think a large part of the move is probably in the price at this stage.
Mayuresh, any thoughts? Do you track this one? Zaggle's done very well. Doubler this year.
Afternoon, Prashant. Yeah. And the management probably seems to be very, very optimistic in terms of their overall earnings delivery as well. And they've probably done that, Prashant, to a large extent. So if you look at FY24 numbers, if I'm not mistaken, they've posted around 780 or 785 crores in terms of top line, around 85 or 90 crores in terms of EBITDA. And therefore, I think what they've probably done in the first half of almost 550 odd crores, around 55 crores at EBITDA, even if they carry this run rate in the second half, and mind you, I think Q3, Q4 are traditionally very, very strong quarters was for Zygle. So they will surpass the growth that they probably delivered in FY24, and as the management was just elucidating in terms of their earnings growth and expectations of margin performance to probably hold out. Obviously, I think the omni-channel presence that they probably got with payment instruments, that Propel platform doing well, the mobile applications and API integrations, along with their 14, 15 odd banking partners they've got, that should aid earnings growth as well. Yeah, so the momentum might very well continue with better earnings.